Hello everyone, it's Andrew Wynd here, foot and ankle physiotherapist here in Australia. And if you have not seen me on this channel before, this is all about foot and ankle, but in particular, this video is all around balance and it's specifically designed for over 55. So if you are over 55, this video is for you and follow along. It's designed to be done at home, ideally 2 to 3 times a week. And you'll notice that your balance improves. But let's get stuck into it straight away. If you don't know me, I'm a foot and ankle physio. I'm a physio with 20 years of experience, and this channel is mainly focused around improving your feet and ankles. And if you haven't yet liked or subscribed to the channel, make sure you do, because there's lots of interesting content that we hope will really help you and your foot and ankles. So before we get into it, number one thing for today is safety. This is really, really important. We want to prevent falls. We don't want to create any falls and we don't want to cause any issues. So if you have any pain during any of the exercises, definitely stop and check in with your healthcare professional before continuing. And really importantly, you'll see that I've got a chair with arms on it, and that's really, really important. And I'm also situated in the corner. We're in the clinic here today, and I've got a wall next to me. If you are doing this alone at home, make sure you have that wall so you're nice and safe. You're also going to need a ball for this one. That's the only bit of equipment you need. This is our myofascial ball. It's a specific one because we're going to be using it on the feet. However, you can use a tennis ball or even a dog toy or something similar like that will be absolutely fine. All right, let's get into it. Now we've gone through a bit of a safety briefing. One final point, you can see I'm in my socks. I'm actually going to take them off. Ideally, these are done barefoot. Now, and the other part of taking shoes and socks off is safety. So we've got good grip on the ground. Okay, here we go. So the first thing we're going to do is start off with our ball underneath our foot. And this is really a nice relaxing way to start. So I've got the ball under my foot and I'm rolling it backwards and forwards on the outside of my foot and also then onto the inside of my foot. I also like to do some circles. Circles feel really interesting underneath the foot. I'm going to do 3 circles one way and then 3 circles the other way. And then I'm going to switch sides. Okay, and while we're doing the other foot, you might be wondering what on earth we're doing. There's a lot of research that shows that massaging underneath your arch, the plantar aspect of your foot, immediately improves balance. And a really great paper compared a physical therapist like myself massaging underneath the arch to using a ball. And the really pleasing news was using a ball was just as effective as using your hands underneath your arch, and it's much, much easier to do. So while I'm talking, I'll switch back feet to the other side again. So we always, all of our balance classes here always start with massage underneath the foot because we know it improves our connection to the ground through improving feedback through the nerve endings in our feet. So a really, really important one. So make sure you spend quite a few minutes, just like we are now, working on the feet using a ball. Great, that's enough time. Put your ball aside because we are going to come back to that later on. Next, we want to warm up the whole body. So what we're going to do here is get the whole body rotating. So we slide our hands forwards and backwards on our thighs, and this gets our mid part of our backs rotating. Our thorax is the largest part of our spine. It's got the most muscle connections of anywhere in the body, and it's really, really important for rotation. And so we really want to rotate quite a bit through there. So I've done 15 there. About 15 or 20 is ideal. Next, we're going to do our necks. Up nice and tall and rotating the head from one side to another. Now, why are we doing that? Well, the vestibular apparatus in our ears, our inner ears, is also responsible as part of our balance system. So we really want to make sure we look after our neck movement as well. So slowly rotating side to side. It's okay if your neck doesn't go that far. Some of you will go further, some will go less. Don't force it, we're just warming up at this stage. Great. So we've warmed up our mid-back, we've warmed up our neck, and we've got our sensors working well for us in our feet. So we're ready to start really getting into it. We're going to march on the spot. Okay, I'm supported in the chair, lifting up knees on either side. And to make it a little more challenging, we'll go arms out to the side so we don't have that hand support. And just take note as whether your trunk leans side to side or whether you can keep it nice and quiet and still in the middle and lifting one leg up. So marching on the spot. Great. Going well. Good. Okay, we're going to stand up now. Now we've warmed up the body. We're going to use that chair and we're going to work on our calves. So I'll turn the chair sideways. I'm near the wall, as you should be. Make sure your chair is nice and sturdy and you can hold on to the back there. What we're going to do is calf raises. And we're going to raise up onto the balls of the feet there as high as we can. Now, if you have pain underneath the balls of your feet, which can be quite common, some padded surface, so carpet, soft carpet would be ideal. You can do, of course, all this with your shoes on. We're only really doing it with our shoes off so we can do the ball massage underneath the feet. That's really important. Now, if you want to make this harder, you're finding this far too easy, because we need to get to 20, you can hold on for balance and you can go single leg. If you have heel pain or an Achilles issue, stick to the 2 feet because this is quite challenging. So if you've gone onto 1 foot, swap sides. We're going to do 10 on each side. That's 5. Good. That's it. Okay, good. So we've worked the calf muscles on the back there. We know they're important for balance. Next, what we're going to do, again, safety here. So your chair, we're actually going to turn it around here this way. So I've got the wall behind me. We're going to do the opposite of going up on the balls of our feet. We're going to go backwards, and we call these heel rock backs because you're rocking back onto your heels. So I'm only holding on with a few fingers there, but make sure you are sturdy. Again, if you lose balance too far backwards, you're going to pull the chair with you, which is why I want something behind you here for safety. So we're rocking back and pulling up the ankles as high as we possibly can. And we know that the ability to pull back from that position really helps us as we age to prevent falling over backwards. So we really want to be able to pull up nice and high here. Again, if there's any discomfort, definitely check in with your health professional. Again, we're going for 20 here. All right, if these are too easy, do more. This is a hard one on 1 foot. It can be done, but it is really, really quite challenging on the shin muscles. So if 2 feet is way too easy for you, by all means consider 1, but it is certainly quite challenging. Okay, we're going to come back around here now. I'll move my chair and I'll come back down around here for you. So if standing on 2 feet and going up on to the balls of the feet was too challenging, we can do calf raises seated. We do this one in the clinic with our patients, foot and ankle patients, all the time. It's a really nice way of ensuring that your toes can get nice and spread and connected to the ground whilst working the calf muscles. If you want it a little harder, you can lean forwards. In the clinic, we call this the thinking man for obvious reasons. And we're going up and down, controlling down. You can see me shaking a little bit on the way down. That's quite normal. However, it's also a sign that I could probably do a few more of these. And as I get stronger, that shaking will go away. Lovely. So we've worked the muscles on the back of the calf and on the front of the shin. Next, we're going to do something integrating the whole lower limb here for knees and hips. We're going to do sit to stands. Again, careful with this one. You may want to have a bench in front of you if you're a bit worried about falling forwards, or you can certainly have a wall nearby. I'll move across here. We're going to do 10 of these. We're going to lean forwards and push through both feet and come up. Okay, there's 2. and 3. Now, if I want to make it a little more challenging, be safe, remember, hands across shoulders means that I have to use my legs. I can't use my hands to get out. If your knees are really struggling with this, perhaps you want to use your hands, that's okay, but ideally would be able to just use the legs. All right, 2 more, and then I'll show you something a little more challenging. Again, if you are finding this way too easy and you've done 10 of these, your knees and hips are okay, then we could do this one, up onto 2, onto 1. On 2, onto 1. Up on 2, onto 1. You can see there that it's very easy to overbalance, so please be safe with that one and only do it if you really feel up to it or have something or someone nearby. Great. Okay. Next, we'll get the chair out of the way. We're going to do this with a wall nearby. And we're going to do something that there's quite a bit of research around this one, a heel to toe walk. If you're in the USA, this may be a common one for a sobriety test. Here in Australia, we don't tend to use this one. And I'm just tapping the heels to the toes and trying to maintain balance there. I'm keeping one arm nearby on that wall. However, if you feel confident, you can go heel toe without holding on, just tapping in front, and then really challenging, going backwards. Okay, now just from doing those sit to stands, my legs, I've definitely had a little workout, so I'm a little shaky, and it's okay if you are too. Make sure you hold on to the wall. Great. Not too many of these. We're going to do 3 to 5 is what I'd recommend at home. Great. Next, we grab our chair again. We're going to stay behind it and we're going to work the hip muscles. The hip muscles work in well with the foot muscles. We're going to do hip abduction. Okay, I'm holding on nice and strongly here, like so. And I'm keeping my toes pointed forwards. So I'm really working the muscles on the side of my hip here. But you'll probably find you notice that the hip of the leg you're standing on is also getting tired. And so it works both hips at the same time. We'll swap sides. I've done 10. That's it. Good. So as I'm doing this, I want to make it a little more challenging. If you're finding this too easy, take one hand off. If you're finding it really, really easy, a couple of fingers and potentially no hands. All right, but again, safety first, always. Great. We're going to switch back to the other side. Okay. 4, 5. How are you finding this on your hip? Mine's getting a little tired. Good. One more. Good, that's 10. Switch back again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A couple of fingers if you're up to it. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Excellent, good. So we work the hip abductors there. Now we want to work the hip extensors. And the way we do that is lean forwards a little bit onto the back of our chair again. And we're going to make sure we've got room behind because we're going to do donkey kicks. As the name suggests, we're going to bend the knee here and we're going to kick out the back, bring it back in, back down, switch sides. Bend knee, kick out the back. Oh, I don't have quite enough room there. Come back in and back down. I'll move sideways a little bit more so I can clear it. Bend knee, kick out the back, back in, and then knee bends. Good. That's it. This way we work the back of our leg, the hamstrings, also the gluteals in a nice safe manner. We often get asked in the clinic, how far back should my leg go? And the answer is as long as it's not uncomfortable, as far back as it can go. What we don't want to see is a lot of back arching. That can upset the low back a little bit. Good. Okay, 2 more on each side. Bend, kick out the back, back in. Last one, out the back, back in. There we go. Okay, we've worked a lot of muscles around the legs now. I'm going to wind this down into a little bit of a cool down together. And unsurprisingly, because as you know, I'm all about the foot and ankle, we're going to do some more work on the foot again to finish this off. Okay, so rolling the ball backwards and forwards again. Hopefully you've had a little bit of an aerobic workout as well. Maybe you've got a little bit of puffing happening. That's not a bad thing. And hopefully you've worked the muscles in your legs. If you wake up sore tomorrow morning, pat yourself on the back. You've given them a bit of a workout. If you're sore in the joints, maybe you went a little too hard. All right. I'm really trying to mold my foot over that ball and really relax my toes. We'll switch sides. 1 minute on each side is ideal, but so I don't bore you in this video, we'll just keep it a little bit shorter. Right, backwards and forwards, circles again, and you can take comfort knowing that straight after this your balance is going to be already improved from just massaging with this ball. Great. Okay, next we're going to do toe press downs. Okay, so I press my toes down and into the floor and I hold for 5 seconds. Now this will really challenge some of you. I lift them up, I spread them apart and I push my toes down into the floor. Now why am I doing that? We know that our toe flexors are really, really important for propulsion in walking, but also in balance. So we know that toe flexor strength is actually correlated with falls risk. So we want our toe flexors, which is what I'm working here, to be nice and strong. Now you can do both feet at the same time to save a little bit of time. So I'm pressing both toes down now into the ground. Good. Or you can focus on one at a time, which might be a good place to start if you're struggling with this one. I like 5-second holds and I like 15 of them. Good. And I'm starting to get a little bit tired. And you might find you're not sure where you're tired, but it's getting harder, and that's okay. That means you're working those muscles and fatiguing them. Fantastic. So we've worked both toes there. We've worked the toe flexors. We've worked our balance sensors. Now we're going to finish off with that rotation again, but a slightly different variation. We're going to call this one a reach and grab. So you want to reach out as if you're going to grab something and pull it right back towards you. Reach and grab. That's it. Really stretch. As far as you can, reach out as far as you can. Good, and grab and pull it back. That's it. Lovely, good. Okay. Final thing to wind everything back down. We're going to relax back into our chair. And we're going to do a little bit of deep breathing just to calm the nervous system down. But we're going to do it into our bellies. So we're going to use our hands on our bellies here. We're going to use our diaphragm. So we're going to breathe in slowly. And allow your hands to swell out a little bit. So your tummy should swell out. Two more. One more. It's okay for your belly to swell out. That's your lungs filling up with air and you're using your diaphragm. And we know that's great for calming the nervous system down as well. Well, there you have it. That's about a 10-minute routine. We really want you to do that 3 times a week. You can do that daily if you want to. Watch what happens after 2 weeks. You'll see your balance improve. Once again, just remind you that it's got to be safe, and we really want to focus on the feet and the ankles because they're just so important in our balance. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe to our channel, and also leave some comments underneath. I personally check them all, and if there's something else you'd like me to deliver to you from a foot and ankle perspective or a balance perspective, just put it in the comments and we'll make sure we get a video on that to you. Have a great day and stay safe.